All right, what's good, everyone? We back to another episode of Canes on the Daily. I'm your host, Martin Livewire Sports, and my man Donnie. We always talk Miami Hurricanes as we always do about this time, but this season is a little different than we normally have. So we're gonna go. You know how we do all the time. We key in that music, that famous Miami Hurricane music, and then we get it started.
Let's give it up to the youth. Loyal to the squad if we win or we lose. It is in our veins that orange and the green when it's through and through. Cause you know we want it. These squad versus ours, now they don't really want it. Our 30 degrees deep with frozen abundance. Get ready for the storm cause the hurricane's coming. Let's give it up to the youth. Loyal to the squad if we win or we lose. It is in our veins that orange and the green when it's through and through. Cause you know we want it. These squad versus ours, now they don't really want it. Our 30 degrees deep with frozen abundance. Get ready for the storm cause the hurricane's coming.
All right, we back. Now, Miami had a little soft game last night when they played Bethune Cookman. Now, we know what happened last year when we played Bethune Cookman. We didn't really play up to our potential like we normally could. But as I felt this, and I'm sure all Canes fans has experienced this feeling as well, that this team is different, way different from last year. From the start of the season, going against Miami, Ohio, into that dominant performance last week against Texas A&M, and it continues this week against Bethune Cookman. So, Donnie, give me your overall assessment of last night's game, how you felt about it.
Well, to be honest, man, I was just glad to see that we still have a mentality to go for the kill. I mean, if you look at it, when we had about what was it, like a minute and 45 left in the first
Mm,
half,
yeah.
and we were down for the kill to score again,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just this mentality and the way this mentality is developing, and I'm loving it. It's like I love the fact that we got some of our younger guys in because, like, look, we got to develop this next man mentality, next man up mentality to,
Yeah.
perform at a high level. And I loved everything about that performance.
I agree with you because this is something that me and you talked before the season start when we did a show, is that I want to see a more dominant Hurricane team where we get some of the others in, the other guys that can get some burn. Now I kind of was a little bit disappointed in Emery Williams, not too much, but he didn't seem like he was settled too much. He was seemed like he was trying to do too much. And you don't even have to do too much when the game is already out of hand. Just go out and play, you know. And I just think that he just got to settle down a little bit. Take it on a stride because when he came in against the Miami Ohio game, he played pretty good. And this time, he didn't really have to do much. You got When you got playmakers on the field, you definitely have to let your playmakers do all the work for you. It's going to make it easy. And if you looked at Tyler Van Dyke for the last, like, go back to the Miami Ohio game, the Canes didn't really pass that much, like they wanted to in that game. They ran the ball a whole lot. Then you seen a whole different Hurricanes in the Texas A&M. They didn't even run the ball that much in that game, and they just aired it out. But this game, you saw a whole balance of run and pass, and that's something that I was paying attention to a lot. How balanced is Miami's going to be? Are they going to be just this team that's want to pass a lot or run a lot? But with so much depth at the running back position, it's so ridiculous. I mean, Cheney, I'm glad to see him healthy, really healthy. You got Harris there, you got Allen there. I mean, Fletcher didn't even play last night. You know what I'm saying? So that's another back that's in the mix as well. And then you got to look at Chris Chris Johnson Jr. I was waiting for him to come in the game so bad. I was like, please let this dude come in the game. I want to see what he could do, and he gave me what I was looking for. So the overall performance, I was expecting for Miami to dominate in the first half, like I wanted them to, and then let the other guys come in. So I do want to touch on one aspect of the game, though, is that even though we had some of our defensive players out, Keem Mesidor out, but this defense stayed relentless. Now, they kind of got in the second half. They did got kind of lackadaisical a little bit. Mario touched on that, but then you seen them got back re-engaged and stopped playing, because they could have easily shut them guys out. So give me your assessment of the defense so far.
Well, I have the same assessment of the defense as I do of the offense, man. It's like the mentality has changed. It's like now we're not afraid to get hit because we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
hit. So if you punch us in the mouth, you just better know that we're gonna punch you in the mouth even harder. And
Yeah.
I see that in all three phases of the game, and I love it. Um, with this team, what I've noticed is just the sheer mentality has changed.
Oh yeah.
Um, it's not like it used to be where we would roll over and give up. And it's like every week you are earning your playing time every week in practice from watching film, and you can tell it on the field because the results are real. Um, all I can say is like that culture has really changed. I see it, I believe it, and I will tell you that this is gonna be a totally like I will tell you this. I understood what Cristobal said when he said they were kind of lackadaisical. But
Mm-hmm.
the thing is like at that point, a lot of guys were just happy to be on the field.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Most definitely too.
But at the same time, I figured going into next week's game, and I think that's Temple, correct?
Oh yeah.
You will see that second string and third string play with a more intensity. They'll be more intense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but right now, man, it's just like now that we've got this thing back in the road, we're just happy to be riding. But
Oh.
now guys are going to be happy getting to the next destination, so they're going to fight even harder week in and week out because it's like no matter what happened, like when James Williams made the big hit and he talking and he flexing, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that looks good. That looks good. Not saying
Mm-hmm.
that we're back, but the thing is I got to say we're back to basics. We're
Oh yeah.
back handling business. We're back to taking care of things, simple things like wrapping up on tackles. That
Mm-hmm.
impressed me. Finishing runs, running hard. Our running backs are, our running back room is loaded. Our receivers are loaded. And even though I didn't see Mr. Brown last night, what I will give Emory credit for is like Mr. Williams knew when it was time to hand the ball off, when it was
Mm-hmm.
time to, and I
Yeah.
was like, the game manager. He's not going out trying to be a game changer. Right now, he
Exactly.
understands and he's a manager. So I was
Mm.
thoroughly impressed with what I saw on the field last night, and I'm pretty sure I'll be thoroughly impressed next week.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think that with Emery, sitting behind Tyler and watching Tyler, be starting to execute the way we all know Tyler can, because you know this from last year. I'm a huge Tyler Van Dyke fan, and
Of
I
course,
wanted to see him get the due that he deserved. And now his name's starting to resonate in the Heisman Trophy, talk. And he's already got almost 1,000 yards in 3 games, and it's just going to build from that on, because because now the offense is starting to click, it's starting to flow, and like I said, I love how nasty our offensive line has gotten too. Them boys is so nasty up front to where they do not take anything. They just make sure that they do the things that they need to do and everything, and allow everybody else to do the rest. So I take away from that is very, very exciting, very encouraging, and everything like that. I want I just think that Shannon Dawson being there was a breath of fresh air. Mario made two great hires defensively and offensively. And, I've never been a fan of Kevin Steele on defense because he had our guys playing so much out of position and just looking really like making them guys look like they can't play. So, and just seeing these guys play with more physicality is beautiful. And so, um, also, in this game last night, that even though the game was over, but Decory Brown, he came in and hit that running back and knocked his helmet off. I was like, whoa, oh my God, Decory, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? You definitely has to, you stay attacking. You let them know, hey, this game ain't over. We're not gonna let y'all just get scores. I still don't like when running quarterbacks run on us. I hate that. Oh my God. It irritates me to the fullest. I think that's one of my pet peeves watching either Miami or any other team, even in the pros. I don't like when defenses are so good, and they just had that breakdown where they allow a quarterback just to run on us. That's something I really want them to fix. I think that's one of the things I really want them to fix, because when we do go to Chapel up there in North Carolina and play
Hmm.
them, we know that Drake May, that's all he's going to do. You know, he's going to want to run out the pocket, and we really got to light him up. I mean, light him up to where he going to think twice about running out that pocket. That's what I want. I really want that so bad, because Miami they have to, as great as their defense is, they have to really stop running quarterbacks. They good in there. Excuse me, they good in every facet right now, but that running quarterback stuff does hurt. Even Tyler Van Dyke showed a little wheels last night. I was like, okay, Tyler, I like that, because he doesn't run, but for our defense, we definitely has to do that. Tell me what other aspects of the game that you witnessed last night.
Well, one thing I will tell you is that I saw a old brand of Miami football, and what I mean by an old brand, I mean if you go back to our glory days when we had Jimmy Johnson, Howard Snellenberger, Craig Erickson, I'm sorry, Dennis Erickson. Craig Erickson was a quarterback. Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed that we did a lot of things with our second unit. So what I want to tell you is what I saw is like even though the Bethune Cookman game was over, we were preparing for the rest of the season. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a play call. It's like, we can't simulate this in practice. We need this live. And they were getting a live action. And it was like, okay, Canes, uh, what do you do if a guy does this? And our guys were able to respond and say, well, if they do this, then we'll do this. Now, sometimes it didn't work. And like you said, they had a scrambling quarterback, but we took their QB1 out quickly.
Ooh,
Quick.
yeah. Ooh,
And
yeah.
the thing is, like, and we didn't even have most of our defensive starters. So I was like, that's a
Exactly.
scary tough monster for me to be like, you know what? These guys are not playing around. These guys mean business. When they come to work, when they clock in, it's go time. And they don't clock out until it's triple zeros in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that's what I loved. My observation, man, was just like, again, I will say the tenacity, the never quit, the never say die attitude. It was like no matter what, like yeah, we got amped up to play Texas A&M, and even though we beat Bethune Cookman by more points last year, this was a more convincing win.
Yeah,
That was ultimate takeaway from the game
yeah.
because like we just showed them like, hey, you want to play with the big boys? This is what it's like, and they were like, no. It was like Debo rode his bike through, and it was like, yeah, man, tuck your chain, let's go, bro. And that was my ultimate takeaway from the game.
Yeah, I
I mean,
agree. I agree with you because the thing is that not having Cam Kitchens, we probably won't see Cam. We probably won't see Cam until probably the Georgia Tech game.
and
And
that's good. That's good. That's good. And
yeah,
that's another thing is like the responsibility. Like, and I just want to hold you up on that point real quick because like
go ahead.
we lost too many good players because coaches felt like they had to rush them back in there. Like, for example, Armon Richards.
Mm,
I think if we had to let him rest, we would have had him and he would have been in the NFL. But the thing is,
hmm
I feel like the coaches rushed him back because he was their fix all to everything. Now we
Yeah.
know that even without Cam, our secondary showed, hey, we can play. But you know what?
hmm
Cam is still our leader. But you know what? When the lead dog is out, we still know where to go. We still know that we got to keep attacking. We got to play with ferocity. We got to play with intensity. And like every hit that the Canes put on defense, man, that was ill intent. I ain't seen that in decades, bro. I'm like, yo, that was ill intent. They were hitting with malice. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh.
Oh yeah. They definitely was. I
And the
mean,
offense had a schedule. Like, look, we finna run the board up quick, bro. Is it a mercy rule? Nah. All right, we're gonna try to make one. But it's just like the domination was real, and that's my ultimate takeaway is the mentality. Bro, I got to be real with you. It's just the mentality. It's the way we approached the game and we played the game. Because even Restrepo was like, you know what? I'm gonna run across the middle, and I gotta give it to Bethune Cookman, man. A couple of their linebackers. I'm not gonna lie. If they hit the portal, we need to get them, especially number 9. I was like,
oh
yo,
yeah,
whoo.
exactly. I'm
But like
telling you,
I
it's man. I mean, you really nail it because like Bethune Cookman do got some good talent over there. They got some athletes, and they're gonna probably want to leave. And Mario, Mario already licking his chops and everything, because like I had this conversation with this one of my coworkers today, and we was talking about recruiting wise, and he was like, well, um, he like, well, he all on the Deion Sanders bandwagon, which I mean, I don't have nothing negative against Deion because I'm glad he's doing his thing. But when it comes to my Hurricanes, ain't nothing tops that. Nothing, nothing tops my Canes. I don't care who who your team is. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I'm good that I'm all I support from the outside, but like I said, when it comes to my Kings, cause he was like he didn't he said he didn't know who Mario Cristobal is. I said, well, you better glad that we ain't playing y'all right now because you would have got really acquainted with us really fast.
of
really,
course.
really fast. I said, Colorado playing good ball. I said, but you gotta look. He said, well, who y'all play? I said, dude, we play just about the same kind of teams y'all played already. Y'all played a top 10 team, a team that actually went to the national championship. We played a team that we battled last year and could have beat them, but we dominate them this year. Well, I mean, like we literally dominate them. You know, even though Jacoby Jacoby George had that punt return, that fumble, but if you take away that, it would have been worse than what it is. So, and then he was like, Oh yeah, he was like, yeah, but and I just kept telling him, I said, man, I said, you got to understand. I say, Mario Cristobal can recruit. I say, I know I say, you got to look at, because he was like saying that Dion was out, he's third recruiting, over, with Kirby Smart and Nick Saban. And I was like, bro, I say, uh-uh. I say, you missing one person. And he was like, who? I told him, I say, you missing Mario Cristobal. And he was like, who is this? And I was like, you gotta think about it. I said, Miami has recruited Brad. He said, well, how long you been there? I said, well, this is the second year. He said, well, this is Dion first year. I said, yeah. I said, Dion is a popular name. Everybody's going to gravitate to that. Everybody's going to want to go to him and stuff like that. I said, but I say, as long as he do it on a consistent basis, year in and year out, that's where the consistency come in. I say, we establishing ourselves now. You know what I'm saying? We had a bad team last year. Now you look at this team this year, and I say, the thing about the Miami Hurricanes, this ain't the same Miami Hurricanes. They slowly becoming that team. I say, and then the things that we as fans look for is consistency. I say, yeah, I don't care about Dion getting all the hype, getting all the media attention. That's fine. I say, long as my team is continuing to win and dominate like they're supposed to, I said, then it's all good for me. It's all good for me. Um, Borrellis missed that field goal last night on that extra point last night. I was shocked. Like as accurate of a kicker he is, and I'm telling you that young man is going to make a lot of money in the NFL kicking. Because he is very accurate. He very seldom missed, and I was like, I was good. I was like, well, we already up 34 to zip at halftime and everything like that. So um, I know we didn't get catch up last week, because I was the day Miami played Texas A&M. I was in DC, the DC area, because I went to the Commanders game to watch them play home, their home opener, and I watched the A&M game that night. So, and I got up there the same day. So I'm still feeling that drive jet lag all the way from last week.
Oh yeah.
Um, so because when I got back, I got back like I was off Monday, so I got back late Sunday night, and then Sunday morning I dropped a recap video for the Hurricanes Commanders and did a video blog for the Commanders, and then I had to write an article too. So I was like, I ain't getting no rest, dude. But give me your quick. We're gonna recap last week's game real quick, and then we're gonna move forward. Give me your quick recap of that Texas A&M game. Before that game had started, what was your initial thought before they kick off in that game?
Okay. Let's just be 100% honest. I thought the Canes were gonna lose. Uh, I picked the Canes to lose in a tight game. Um, I picked it to be a close game.
Mm-hmm.
I said Canes maybe lose by 3 at the minimum, most by 6.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I'm gonna be real with you. I was cavalier last weekend. I was so nonchalant that like during kickoff, I go to the store. I'm doing some shopping. I'm getting my wings. I'm doing everything. And then when I come back, we're down 10 zip. And I'm like, that ain't that. We'll come back. And as sure as I said it, we started mounting the comeback because I saw we was going on the attack. But I also thought, and if you look at history, like any other time, this team would have gave up. They would have just folded. But last week, they did not fold. They just kept fighting.
Mm-hmm.
When they got punched, they punched back harder. And I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Mm-hmm.
we might be on to something here. And I was like, so I was not mad that I missed a majority of the first quarter, but I was happy that I got to watch the rest of the game because like I saw those guys fight back, believe in each other, believe in the coaching set, the staff, and the system, and went out and did their thing. So my quick recap would be like, look, the mentality is different. This is not the same Canes. It's different, man. It's totally different.
Yeah,
And my takeaway from that game just showed me that these guys will fight, and they don't care who you are, what your name is. They will fight you. It's not like they will say, well, because you're this, we're just gonna roll over. No, they're not. They're not. And that's what I love. So that's my quick recap is that we never gave up. We never have. And hopefully that will be the mantra for the season. We never will.
yeah, and that's what I kind of like take the same thing from it is that how Miami was just even at the mistake, minor mistake after mistake, they was able to you know not panic, stick to the game plan, and took what the defense was giving them. Because I really believe that going into that game, that um, Texas A&M probably looked at that Miami Ohio game and saw how well Miami was running the ball, and they probably came into that game and said, "Okay, we got to stop the run." They running the ball very very well because we didn't show a lot of passing in the Miami Ohio game. We passed, but not like how we blitzed Texas A&M. We blitzed them like crazy, you know, and they didn't have an answer. And then when Rashard Smith ran that kickoff return back, that just broke Texas A&M back right then and there. So I really like how Miami didn't let the moment get too big for them. They stay and actually I wanted this game. This was the game that I circled on the schedule. I said Miami gets past Texas A&M, they're gonna be in a prime position by the time they get to North Carolina, and that's going. And if they get past, if Miami gets past North Carolina, there ain't no doubt in my mind they will beat Clemson at home, and there's going to set up a showdown between them and Florida State down the way. I firmly believe this. I I'm telling you, bro, that I've been feeling this for the whole off season about this team from recruiting to what they was bringing in. I just felt so strongly about it. I mean, you know how well as the fans, I was going back and forth at work. It's like they're like, "Oh, Miami's gonna win 5 or 6 games." I said, "No, they're not." I said, "No, they're not." I got a question. They said, "Well, how many games Miami gonna win this year?" I said, "Miami's ceiling is 9 games." I said, "But can they achieve more? It all depends." I said, "But 9 games, I'm giving them." And after that Texas A&M game, and I said Miami's gonna to go to North Carolina undefeated. Now, and now North Carolina do look shaky. They do look shaky on defense. They've been playing in some that South Carolina game. That's just South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? That's just how they are. Um, they had a tight one against App State. They got another tough game tomorrow. So I'll be closely watching that. But all in all, Miami played a really good game. I really wanted them to score 50 points. I was being greedy last week. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now, I was like, man, put 50 on these cats. I was like, just make it so bad for Jimbo. You know what I'm saying? And, and you know what's funny? After the game, Jimbo started complaining about the field.
Yeah, but the thing is like, when you make excuses, that means you can't accept the fact that you just got knocked out. You know, like if me and you
Right?
fight and you just hit me with a left, and I'm like, see, now what Martin had did was like he fainted, and like I tried to do. I'm like, no, bro, Martin just knocked me out, bro. It's like I just got to take it like a man. Like, hey, today Martin was the better man. He knocked me out, flush and clean. I have no excuses. Whether I saw the punch or not, I mean, that's the whole point of a fight. Somebody's
Hmm.
got to win, somebody's got to lose. So I'm like,
Right.
bro, excuses. So the thing is like, I gotta say this too. The thing is like, I noticed something with Miami that I haven't noticed since Coach Erickson was there,
Mm.
and that is like we run certain plays and certain formations that it doesn't matter early in the season if it's a positive game
Mm.
or if it's a negative game. But by the time we get in crunch time, those
Hmm.
are our big money plays.
Mm,
And I
yeah,
know that this coaching staff is doing the same thing on offense, defense, and special teams.
I agree. I agree
And
with
they're
you.
doing it with multiple players. So that way, and I just wanted to say this just to say to come back to my original point. So if you get knocked out, it's no excuse. It's no excuse. It's no excuse. So if I get knocked out, it's not like I can say, well, Martin snuck me. No, we went head up, men to men. He got the best of me. I fell on my back. I can't get up and say, hey, you know what? The grass was wet. Bro, he was standing in the same wet grass I was, bro.
That's
So
funny.
that's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
Take the
oh, go ahead.
no, that's all I was gonna say. Take the excuses out of it, bro. Because like Jimbo can make excuses, which he's done for what 7 years now? No,
Mm,
6 years at Texas A&M, and the last year at Florida State. Yes, it's 7 years that he's been making excuses. Take the excuses out. You get knocked out. You get knocked out.
exactly. But that's Jimbo. That's just how Jimbo is. He can't he can't accept the agony of defeat. So he gotta make excuses of why his team still is not good. I mean, they made some improvement here and there, but I just think Miami is too much. I think Miami is, for the lack of words, I think Miami is they building itself into that, slowly becoming a juggernaut the way they want to become. I mean, do they still got some tests ahead of them? Yeah, they do. You know what I'm saying? But they building to where when they get ready to play in a lot of these games in conference, they gonna be well ready. You know, and I like that. After the Temple game, they got a bye week, and then they come back and play Georgia Tech, and that means when they come back, they should have all their defensive units there. Ready to knock out their opponent and and go into that North Carolina game, putting North Carolina on notice, like, hey, you're gonna have to play this game. You really gonna have to play all 4 quarters because we're not gonna give you nothing easy. And I think by the change of pace of running backs, how Shannon Dawson puts these guys in the game, it's going to be hard. And knowing that North Carolina's defense, even though I know I'm jumping all the way ahead of time, but knowing that North Carolina's defense can't stop the run, their defense is really, really bad. That might be a game where Miami turn the table on North Carolina like North Carolina used to do us, run the ball on us. Remember when we couldn't stop the run? Now this might be an opportunity that it could be the same way. We run on them and they scrambling around and trying to stack the box, and we stop going over the top of their head. It's going. I can that game be a shootout? Yeah, but I think at the end of the day, I think our defense is going to be the key to help us win that game. Um, but I think going back into next week when they play Temple is going to be good, like you said, for the young guys to get back in there. Um, don't know if Emory Williams will come back in or Ja'Cory Brown. Um, Miami do handle Temple by the halftime again. then I would like to see each quarterback get a quarter. You know, Emory coming in, Jacoby coming there. So where that, and I still think that Shannon Dawson got something for Ja'Cory Brown on offense, and he hasn't. And I think he's not going to show it until he really needs to. And I think the two important games, the North Carolina and Clemson game, is really going to be the games that Ja'Cory Brown is going to make his debut. He could make his debut between the Georgia Tech and the Temple game, but I think they got some stuff for him. I really believe Shannon Dawson has something cooked up for him. I said this. I said this. I'm gonna tell you too, bro. I think Shannon Dawson has not showed the full card of that offense yet. We just
Of course.
seen that offense is just at a peak right now, a little peak. Ain't even at a half peak yet. It's at a little peak, and we're gonna see more, a little bit more sprinkle here and there each week. And I don't know. For some reason, this year is just so different for me. Like when I could feel things about my team that's really good and changing, I could tell that this season is about to be a really, really great success. Um, but would you imagine that Miami would have scored what? They scored 38 points against Miami, Ohio, 48 against Texas A&M, and 48 last night. Did you expect going into the season that Miami? I mean, you knew they probably would be able to score points, but not at this eclipse rate that they're going right now.
Well, that's what I got to talk to you about. And yes, I totally expected it because I went back and looked at Mr. Dawson's offense at the last two schools he was at. And one
Mm-hmm.
thing I love that he does with is Miami is such a mystery box with a question mark on it. We can run quick tempo, we can slow it
Mm-hmm.
down, and then you're like, okay, so they went quick tempo, two plays. And then you scrambling back to the line of scrimmage, and they just casually walk out the huddle like, yeah, what's up? And then
Mm-hmm.
you're like, okay, now we can get a breather. Nope, we're taking the top off. And it's like, you never know. The defense is the same way. The defense can go up tempo, thanks to Mr. Gidry, and then
Mm-hmm.
we can slow it down. And then we casually break the huddle like, okay, they ain't blitzing this time. They ain't blitzing. Yes, we are. Corner blitz, and you never see it coming. Because we always got something, like I said, alluding to me and you, if we ever had a battle and I end up on my back, it's like, you can't say you didn't see it. We lined up face to face.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Exactly.
thing is, like, we are in such a mode that we are we 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 are becoming better and better. And that's the thing that like I like, man. Like the way Miami changed the tempo, it's like Miami went from hurry up to slow down to hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, score. And then they was just like, wow, okay, all right. So now we know what they run the hurry up. And then when we came back, it was kind of like slow it down, run the ball. And then we got that running back group is so deep. It's just like, all right, so Chaney is the bruiser. So we're gonna load the box for him. But then when Chris Johnson come in, it's like, you know you gotta protect the edge, but you load the box.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck with that. And then with Allen can run inside, he can run outside. I'm like, bro, I'm like, who you gonna stop? But see, at the same time, I feel like this is a building block process, man. We're building a house brick by brick. And the thing is, it's like, okay, like if you notice Bethune Cookman, look at the coverage. They
Mm-hmm.
would not allow us to go deep. So you know what we did? We just dinked and dunked them underneath. And then eventually we knew the depth was going to overtake them. But at the same time, we need to do that against bigger teams. So this was just basically like a glorified scrimmage where we was just like, you know what? stay disciplined, and remember what we practiced. And the kids did that. They did it.
Yeah,
And
I agree. I definitely agree with that. So like I said, my overall assessment, I'm happy for the first three games. I know there's a lot of improvement. I think this team is special. I think this team could do a lot of great things. I still, I take each week by week, but I want them to, I want to dominate every team they come across, dominate them. It's because
I got
they,
to propose a question to you since you said that.
okay,
Now we just played Texas A&M, not even a full week ago because we played on Thursday.
yeah,
Now look at how our guys performed. Do you think Texas A&M, after going at it with us, would be ready to play on Thursday?
nope,
Okay, there's the first part of your domination, sir.
nope, nope, because we just played last Saturday, and then have to turn around and play Thursday. And but I do like it because Miami didn't take the foot off the brakes. You know what I'm
Of course
saying?
not.
They
Of course
didn't took
not.
they foot off the brakes, and then after that, now they got what 10 days to rest, get healed back up, be ready to go again. Then go into a bye week, well rested again. Everybody come back strong, you know, and then start playing in conference. Starting with Georgia Tech. You know what I'm saying? You know how they do. Georgia Tech wants to run that stupid sweep, triple option, all that crap all the time. And but I just I'm glad or what Mario is building. And speaking of building, we're gonna get into these latest recruits real quick. Um, Mario said that the recruiting process has been monstrous. With that being said, Miami earned a commitment with a 5-star defensive lineman Armando Blunt
Yep.
for the 2025 class.
Hmm.
So that's more depth on the defensive line coming in. Um, Mario also said that Miami is working its way to looking like what Miami should look like. He said he think that what you are seeing in terms of recruiting is monstrous. Um, so I do love what he was doing, and that's crazy because the game was going on and all these recruits was dropping like crazy and everything like that. So um, I just love it. I just like I said, Miami is definitely on the verge of something special, and it's how we would get our hopes up the last 2 years and get let down, but this year it's like okay, we keeping the antennas. I do want to I do want to touch on one part of the offense for Miami is the weapons. They have so many weapons. I love you know JK's favorite guy is um um oh Lord Kobe
Yeah, Kobe Young. I'm a
Kobe
George guy.
Young. Kobe
I'm a
Young.
George guy.
that's a that's a guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I love Kobe too. I love him too. I love when
I love
he
boy. I love all of them, man. I'm like,
yeah. And then the tight ends got some burn last night, and
yeah. And I was wondering where they were.
cause somebody had asked me at work. They say Miami got tight ends. I said yeah. They like where they at? I said, so when the Texas A&M game came in, they came in. I was like, oh, there they go right there. And I was like, oh, I said they're gonna be a big part of the game. I said this is where when this was. I'm gonna tell you, Miami starting to remind me of like, oh, what NFL team I could put them against. They look kind of remind me of a little bit. but I think they're more dynamic. Miami's offense a little bit more dynamic. They kind of run that West Coast kind of offense a little bit because remember in the offseason, Mario said he wanted to run a spread more, and some people thought he didn't want to run a spread, but now he knows he got to change with the times. But you still could incorporate the run game, and it's kind of like more like I say the mix of the 49ers and the Chiefs a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Where
I agree.
you, huh?
I agree.
And I say that where you got that West Coast style because you got backs that's elusive like Christian McCaffrey. You got guys that could pound it inside like a Isaiah Pacheco for the Chiefs. Then you got, I think Tyler Van Dyke and Kyle Purdy is kind of like the same guy a little bit. One's just super taller than the other. And then, nobody can match what Patrick Mahomes does because Tyler doesn't run that much. But I think him and Kyle Purdy is that equally matched because one's just taller and the other one's just short. And then you look at it, I think the 49ers defense, the Miami defense kind of looks like the 49ers defense. That's what I compared them to. And I just think that this team, even though Florida State is doing well or whatever, but they haven't been tested. So I want to see them be tested too. Because I read something last week saying that I think it's the national media or ESPN national media or somebody said that Miami is the second best team in the ACC right now. And which, I mean, yeah, I get a nod to Florida State because they beat us, so I'll give them that. But like I said, that revenge tour is coming, and it is going to be sweet. So I'll take Miami being the second best because Miami has looked like the one of the top, with Florida State one in number one and number two in the division because how dominant they have been. Miami's just been looking a little bit more dominant. They're not playing with their opponents. You know what I'm saying? You see North Carolina struggling. You see Clemson struggle in the first half against a sorry team, and then come and put up 66 points. I was telling the Clemson guys the day at work, I said, y'all team looks like how Miami was last year. Y'all don't have an identity on offense. I said, yeah, y'all can run the ball. I said, but what y'all going to do when y'all play a team that has a defense that shuts that down and force your quarterback to make plays that he ain't comfortable making yet? I said, you gotta understand that it's not gonna be easy. I said, y'all might squeak past North Carolina because they don't have a defense. I said, it might be just like the Duke game. Y'all gonna be battling back and forth and they're gonna come down to who's gonna turn the ball over. You know what I'm saying? I said, but then you might play Florida State that has a good defense that's gonna attack you the whole game. Miami is gonna attack you the whole game. How are you gonna deal with that? It's gonna be hard. So, but they gave all those reasons and stuff like that. So, but nevertheless, Mario is doing what he came to do because people don't realize he did good at Oregon. He recruited well at Oregon. Have Oregon out there on the national brand. And guess what? And it took Mario 2 years when he got to Oregon to turn that program around. And look what they did. They went into the horseshoe on Columbus and beat Ohio State, something that is very hard to do. So saying that now this Miami team, once you see them get better throughout the season, more and more, yeah, they definitely gonna do it. They're gonna do things that we expect them to do. So, but unless that, man, I think that the recruiting gonna play a part. The transfer portal is gonna play a part. Because teams gonna look at who's hot. Like if Alabama continue to struggle, all the other teams, like now you got Texas going into, over there, and these players gonna want to play for the hot team. You know what I'm saying? You look at
Mhm.
Colorado, Miami, and Clemson right now. No, my mistake. Colorado, Miami, Florida State. They the hot teams. To be honest with you, if you
Mhm.
look at them, they the hottest teams in college football right now. Surprisingly, Washington State is over there quiet, but nobody's really looking at them. You know, it's they looking at Florida State, they're looking at Miami, they're looking at Colorado. These players going to want to play for these schools. You know, and being honest, we Miami, Florida State, and Colorado might be the teams that you ain't gonna want to play in a 12-team playoff next year. You're not gonna want to play them because they only gonna be more dominant than they are this year. Gonna get better. So like a team like Georgia, yeah, that's Georgia gonna have to continue to play, recruit well, have a decent quarterback because teams like us, in Florida State, they're not going to lay down. They catching up. Look at Clemson taking a step back because Dabo don't want to take players out of the transfer portal. That's going to be he gonna get left behind. You know what I'm saying? Because now he just made it even harder for his team to, they're gonna recruit well, but to get the guys that he needs to, to add depth and build his what his team is going to be hard because you got to deal with North Carolina, Florida State, and Miami in that conference. That's recruiting really, really good now. So, you know, it's a bad time. It's a bad time for Clemson to start to fall off by the wayside. To be honest with you. So, but I think I think we'll probably, let me see, we'll come on Tuesday next week, around about 8 o'clock, and then we could, we'll go over go over the Temple game and what our expectation for that game. I mean, it's probably going to be probably about the same. Dang, Maryland is beating the bricks off of Virginia right now, 35-14.
Yeah, Virginia. um, Virginia is not where they need to be, but I think they will eventually get there. And I will just tell you that this is going to be a magical season this year as far as college football is concerned, because we
Mm.
are going to slowly witness the death of three dynasties. Um, Now, I'm no Paul Feinbaum. I'm not, and I'll admit that. But I will tell you, I'm putting you on notice. Ohio State, Alabama,
Mm.
Clemson, your season is seriously in jeopardy. And I will tell you one more, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. Uh, Georgia is not an automatic lock to make it back to the national championship.
Mm.
I said it. I
Ooh.
said it. I said it.
Ooh.
If
Ooh.
if you don't
Ooh.
like it, come ring my doorbell, and I
Man,
said I said it. I
this
said it,
this
and I
crazy
will
though
try it.
because okay, tell me, tell me why. Tell me why you don't think Georgia's locked. I'm not going against it, but I want to hear your.
Oh, okay. Look. I'm a man of my word, and I stand on everything I say. For Georgia to struggle these first two games, the quarterback is suspect, and the only thing more sus than the quarterback is the secondary. You got
Mm.
Ole Miss on the schedule, and Ole Miss will torch you if your corners are a little bit shaky,
Hmm.
just a little bit. And you got Ole Miss on the schedule. Who?
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, I was like Lane Kiffin, and then like a lot of people when I first said this, because I said this before the season started, and they were like, "You mean to tell me you picking Ole Miss to beat Georgia?" I said, "Yes, I am. Georgia will go down." to
Ooh.
Ole Miss. And they were like, how? And I was like, because first of all, Georgia is not gonna be able to stick with the receivers, bro. I was like, Lane Kiffin is just basically testing the waters. They like, but he struggled with Tulane. I said, no, he's testing the waters. So I'm calling it here first. Georgia is not as strong as they were up front, and their secondary is weak. I said it here. Anybody got a problem? Ring my doorbell. We'll talk about it. We'll have a cup
So
of tea and we'll sit on the porch and talk about it.
all right, I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that. All right, check this out. So September the 23rd, um, college football has a lot of big games. Florida State play Clemson at noon. At noon.
Florida State.
So now that could be an upset game. Clemson could find a way to upset them. You know what I'm saying? Um, Colorado play Oregon. That's gonna be a big test. Ole,
Okay.
Ole Miss, Ole Miss plays Alabama.
And where do you see? Okay, so where do you see the upsets? Just out of the three games you named, because like I'm already calling Florida State over Clemson.
Yeah, I don't see Clemson beating them. Hold on. Let me.
Yeah.
Who Florida State play tomorrow?
Uh. Wow. That's interesting. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up. Hold on. Cause I'm not gonna lie. You know, I am like not watching Florida State because they are scary good right now.
Yeah, they play Boston College tomorrow at 12.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Boston College is beat, bro. Uh, that game kick off at 12. It'll be over by 12:30.
Yeah, but I'm
That
telling
game
you,
will be over 12:30.
my upset pick tomorrow: Minnesota over North Carolina.
Okay, bold prediction. Okay, sir. I like that. I like that, sir.
That's my upset pick. I think Minnesota has a defense, and I think Minnesota could get to them. And I think now because I still I don't believe in North Carolina's defense, so therefore I think that's an upset game. Now Ole Miss plays Georgia Tech tomorrow, so
Oh yeah. Ole Miss
they
all
should
day,
beat
bro.
them. They should beat them going into going into that next week. They go into that excuse me. They go into the Alabama game because they play Alabama next week. Then they got LSU. Then they got Arkansas, Auburn, Texas. They got Georgia on on November 11th. That's gonna be the game.
Okay, so let's make this interesting, Martin. Let's make this interesting, brother. Since
Mm-hmm.
you already knocked me out and put grass stains on my back, we're gonna pick a game a week other than the Miami Hurricanes, and we
Okay.
were way off with the Miami Ohio score.
Okay. All right. Oh yeah. Cool. What was the score? Cool. What you picked? What? Cool.
I
Uh,
picked 45-17. No, I picked 45-10. 45-10.
and what did I pick? 40 something to seven. I wrote it down somewhere.
Yeah, you put it like 45-7. But
Yeah.
look, we were off. So anyway,
Yeah.
anyway.
We were. Yeah. We both was off. It was just I went in the middle.
All right, okay, so look. We're gonna scrap that, okay?
All right.
So what we're gonna do from now on when we end the show is we're gonna pick a game. You pick the game,
Okay.
and of course we're gonna pick our games. But we got cold bottles of water because mine is still in the freezer. It's about to bust, and I'm like, look, bro, got a bit. This is gold right here.
Oh wow! So check this out. So Alabama plays USF tomorrow. I don't know who the heck South Florida.
Yeah,
So so they start in sophomore Tyler Brunson to start over Jalen Monroe tomorrow. So that's gonna be interesting.
yeah, but I mean the thing is like I need an intriguing game. I need a game where it can go either way. I need a 50-50, sir.
So I okay for so tomorrow for
Top
tomorrow.
25, 50-50.
All right, top 25, 50-50. So let me see. LSU, Mississippi State, nah.
Mm-mm.
Kansas State, and Missouri, nah.
Nah,
South Carolina, Georgia, nah.
nah. South
Um,
Carolina gonna be housed.
yeah, they're gonna get roasted, boy. Ooh, Michigan State and Washington. Washington is ranked number 8, and they both 2-0.
Yeah, but Michigan State just lost their coach. They got a scandal going on.
Oh
So
yeah, they definitely about to.
yeah, Michigan State gonna roll over, bro.
All right, so let me see. I'm gonna go with Tennessee and Florida. I actually want to. I actually want to go with that Minnesota North Carolina game. That's the game I'm gonna
Okay,
pick.
okay, okay. All right, let's go. Let's go.
All
You
right,
said you got Minnesota, right?
I got Minnesota in that game.
I'll take North Carolina just for the sake of argument.
All right, cool. All
And
right.
we're gonna bet big boy dollars on this. Bottle of water. I got the Sunny. If you got Aquafina or whatever you got, it's cool, bro. But that's what I'm
Yeah.
bringing to the table.
All right. So I don't do Aquafina, but I do the Dasani, or I do like
Okay, well, match
I
me.
do
This for the Sunny.
all right. So I got 2 bottles of water on it.
Oh, okay, okay. You stepped the ante up. All right,
Yeah, I got
I
two
see
bottles of
you.
water on
I
it.
see you, and I'll match it. Two
Uh,
bottles, Sunny, and I got North Carolina.
all right. You got North
Now,
Carolina
who's
because
the
no
home
no
favorite?
no
Who's the
color
home
no
favorite?
North Carolina favored by 7.
Look, let's just bet straight up. Let's take the points out of it. Let's just
All
be
right.
real mean.
All right, straight
Straight up.
up, straight up, straight up.
Yeah, you ain't scared, and I ain't scared.
Nah, I know
Straight
I ain't
up.
scared. Definitely
Yeah,
not
'cause
scared.
we got big boy money riding on this. So straight up,
Yeah.
let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
So I got Minnesota, and you got North Carolina.
Yep. Final score is final score. Whoever win, whoever crawl out of there, somebody owes somebody some water. And
Is
look, we're gonna do this week in and week out because like by the end of the year, my brother, you gonna owe me a case of water.
yeah. Oh, we about to be like Skip and Shannon used to be.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So definitely all right. So by the end of the week, by the end of the season, we're gonna see. So I definitely I'm definitely looking forward to it. Um Another great show with you, my brother. As always, I'm glad you're better. I'm glad you're better.
Thank you,
So
sir.
um I'm working on a special guest person. I met her off of Twitter. She tweets a lot. She has a own podcast, so she talks Canes football too. So I'm trying to bring her on. Hopefully, I could bring her on
Yeah, bring
next
her in
week.
the fold. Yeah,
I
bring her in the
hopefully I
fold.
could hopefully I could bring her on next week. So definitely, yeah. And she's available. So I might have to because I think her schedule. So I'm gonna check with her again, and then I'll let you know what day because I think her days is kind of tough. I think she can do Wednesdays. I'm not sure. So either or. Um, but yeah, and then we could probably preview that Temple game. So yeah, so most definitely, I think that'll be good. But until then, man, enjoy your weekend and everything like that. Um, the Canes don't play again till next Saturday, but we'll definitely recap that Temple. Not recap, but do a preview of that Temple game. And, to see what we our expectation for um, Mr. Taliban Dyke and crew. I think Taliban Dyke got a chance to have at least 30 touchdowns this year. He already got like what 8 now?
Yeah,
About
over a
7 or
thousand.
8.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and over 1,000 yards. So
yeah.
I mean, the thing is, the kid is special. So you know what I'm saying. You know what? We will link up. And matter of fact, I'll talk to you off air But yeah, bro, yeah. You know what? Yeah, I'll talk to you off air. But yeah, I
All right,
like
bet.
it, bro. From
All
now
right.
on, we got to run in bed every week. So let's see if Martin can knock me out again.
Oh yeah. I was close. We both were close last week. I mean 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
So
yeah, but we didn't hit the mark. So now we
yeah,
got to do it.
we definitely did. We didn't even bet on the A&M Miami game.
No, we
So
didn't. We
yeah.
didn't.
So
So now we
yeah.
got to make up for it. We got to double up. So I'm glad you
Oh,
put 2 water bottles for it. I put 2. So let's go.
let's go. Let's go. We in there now. So yeah. So well, thank you for watching another episode of Kings on the Daily. You always can find us either on Tuesdays or Wednesday nights, depends on scheduling. You can find me on Twitter, the Writer's Poet, or you can find my other Twitter handle, Livewire Sports Media. You can also find me on Instagram, Livewire Sports, and YouTube, Livewire Sports Media, where I always give you updates on Miami Hurricanes and other sports that I do. Um, and shout out to my co-host Donnie that always rides with me on my show on Kings on the Daily. So until then, guys, ladies, have a good night. Stay blessed.
Peace.
Peace.
Let's give it up to the youth. Loyal to the squad if we win or we lose. It is in our veins, that orange and the green running through and through. Cause you know we want it. These squad versus ours, now they don't really want it. Our 30 degrees deep with froze in abundance. Get ready for the storm cause the hurricane's coming. Let's give it up to the youth. Loyal to the squad if we win or we lose. It is in our veins, that orange and the green running through and through. Cause you know we want it. These squad versus ours, now they don't really want it. Our 30 degrees deep with froze in abundance. Get ready for the storm cause the hurricane's coming.